Marissa, the Yellow Jacket, the women's basketball team actually has a very full on the road schedule for January. You opened up at SPU and SMU last week. Close games against SPU, close in the first half, and then SMU tied, with 3 minutes left. Talk about those two contests. Maybe start with the Falcons.
Well, at SPU, we started the game a lot better than we usually had in the past. We showed a lot of growth as a team from the weekend before against the Anchorage and Fairbanks. We handled pressure well. We moved the ball more. We just couldn't make consistent stops. Which was very frustrating, but then we took what we learned from that game and then applied it to the St. Martin's game, and we played a more overall consistent game. Our first quarter, we had a few more mistakes than we were kind of hoping for, which kind of bit us in the butt at the end, but it really opened our eyes to a lot of things. Unfortunately, we lost Taylor. Don't know how long that's going to be. Hopefully not long, but if not, then we're going to have a lot of people who need to step up and kind of fill some bigger shoes than we had before. So there's a lot to learn in the two games. We have a lot of shooting practice to do and just continue on our defensive mentality there.
Maybe talk about the defense. I know that's something that the team really worked on the week before, and it certainly showed. I know that when there is a scoring lull, sometimes defense is what brings you back into the game.
It is, as Coach always says, we need a turkey, and that consists of getting 3 stops on the defensive end, but as well as us trying to score 3 times in a row. And typically, in years past, that has been something we've really focused on and worked on and has got us out of slumps when we needed. When we played SPU here last year, we were down, I think it was about 20 points, and we came out of a slump, and it was just a consistent defensive stops. And by limiting their points, and it's just whoever has the most points on the scoreboard, whether that's 4 points to 2 points, it's defense in the end. And so we just really need to keep that as our main focus, and just everything will go from there.
These two games are the only two games you're going to be playing at home in January, so I know that these are going to be focused especially upon what are some of the things that your team wants to do better, maybe that you picked up in the last 2 weeks.
I think definitely we want to increase our shooting percentage, but if that's not going to be the case, then definitely really focus on being more of a unit as one on the defensive end, and then just kind of applying different things and not having more lulls and the ups and downs, which that's just inexperience and nerves at some point for the younger girls on our team, which us upperclassmen can really try to help, and that'll be something to work on definitely this week for sure.
That's a good point. In the St. Martin's game, you were down by as much as double digits, by 12 in the first quarter, and really played a great second quarter to come back and tie it at halftime. It was your three-pointer that tied the game. What kind of changed? Was there anything that changed, or were you just more focused, or what was about the team that you were able to do that?
We just really had more heart than we usually had in the past. We had a little bit more fight in us, which that fight and heart combined together just really gives the right recipe for winning a game. And we had all the right things going for us, and then they just got a few momentum changers, which we couldn't succumb past. And so that was the difficult part, but I definitely think our team dug a lot deeper than we had in the past, which was great to see. And so it brings hopes for the end of the season, that's for sure.
And it seemed to translate over into all aspects of your game, whether it was technique under the basket or making the extra pass or finding the open person.
Yeah, we had more people crashing than we had before. We had people getting hands on balls and getting steals, making the extra stop. We had got them all the way. We got a 30-second call on them almost twice, I believe it was. And so it was really cool to see that, because in the past we'll get them all the way down to 5 seconds and maybe make a foul in the end. And so the St. Martin's game to the SPU game last weekend, our fouls, they were about equal, but we fouled less in the end, which was huge. So that was kind of a big thing, instead of fouling when you didn't need to. And so
So heading into this week, you're going to be hosting Concordia in Western Oregon. I know that the team will be practicing specifically for these two games, but we also talked about how your team wants to, you said, play more as a unit.
Yeah, it's just when you have a lot of adversity from going from Alicia being losing Alicia, having Vanessa not here, and then now Taylor. It's kind of hard. It can really choke on some of your strings there, and trying to find the guts and the fight to keep going when it's hard losing a teammate like that, but I think it brings you almost closer together, and I think a lot of the freshmen are starting to realize that they have a chance and an opportunity, which is huge in that they have the talent, they have the capabilities to play at this level, which sometimes when you're coming into a program, especially at college, it can be intimidating, and so they have quite the opportunity, and it'll be fun to watch and play because they're a great group of girls to play with, and I enjoy it and love them to death. So.
And I'm sure being at home on your home court will help as well.
Yeah, having the fans here at home and family, friends, everyone alike, it's nice, and being able to sleep in your own bed and have your own meal every time, not having to go through airports. It'll be nice to have that this weekend instead of having to travel again. But we have two big games this weekend and just got to get her done.
Coach, the Yellow Jackets are hosting their only two home games in January this week. It'll be the first two games of a doubleheader with the men's team, but I bet you're looking to capitalize on being at home.
Yeah, we're excited to be home. We played, I thought, pretty well overall at SPU and at St. Martin's. I wish we could have came out with at least one win, but I thought we were really competitive. Other than our three-point shooting, I thought we did a lot of things well. We were close in rebounds. We limited turnovers. We defended pretty well, and I just thought we fought a lot harder than we did the week before. So I was pleased with our effort, and then hopefully now we can just take a next step forward, and it'd be great to get a win, but I know it's going to be hard.
I know one of the things, especially in that St. Martin's game, is when the other team would go on a run, MSUB would fight back and come through with their own run. The team was down by 12 points, and they ended up tying the game by halftime.
Yeah, the second part of the first quarter, we kind of fell asleep a little bit and got behind, but we caught them, and then, like you said, towards the end of the third quarter, early fourth, we had another lull. Give them credit. They made some shots, and they got us at 9 or 10 down. We came all the way back and to within two, had a great look to tie it, and on consecutive possessions, so it just couldn't quite get there. But again, I was pleased with our efforts, and these guys are playing through some adversity and hanging in there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we do this week.
So definitely some momentum then coming into these two games.
I think so. Definitely more confident. Now if we could just get a few shots to drop, that would be really, really key.
Your leaders are still performing really well for you. Tiana and Riley both had great games at St. Martin's, and it sounds like you just need some of your other players to really step up and fill some of those roles.
Yeah, those two have been very consistent over the last month with their scoring, and I thought that they even led. They've always been leaders by example, but I'm asking them to be more vocal, and I thought they did a better job of that. Marissa had a very good, consistent weekend on the boards. Also contributed a few points as well. Those three are really the three that we need to lean on the most. They have the most experience as far as game situations. The others are young. They're going to make some mistakes, but the key is, defensively being sound, and then offensively limiting turnovers, and hopefully being able to score when it's your turn to do that.
And how are they working at bridging that gap between the returners and the new players that you have on the team?
I think this month will tell a lot. This is going to be a difficult month. 6 out of 8, like you said, away from home. It's going to be some tough travel. Going to get back into school. Winter's still here. There's a lot of things that you can look at negatively, or we can continue to get better. So I think overall, I think we've kind of just been treading water. It's time that we take a step forward this month and improve our play and see what that brings us. In this league, even if we improve just a little bit, we still might have a hard time winning some games. But I'm hoping that being at home is going to recharge us up this week, and then we'll just go from there.